You have unmuted yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm muted myself, and we're actually live right now on the
Okay.
Twitch channel. So,
Let's
hey
go.
guys, this is Cyanide. I'll be casting the Skill Development Cup today, along with my co-casters being Babuji and Vaibhav Iyer, also known as History Nerd. And as you can see here, the schedule for today will be Mastaplan versus FTN, better known as FuckTheName. So these matches will be the group 3 matches, and these will actually be deciding the standings in the group 1, the first group I mean. So if FTN can beat Masterplan, they will actually advance into the semis along with Masterplan. If they lose to Masterplan, they'll be out, and in their place Shatagni will be there, who will be taking part in the semis. So yeah, so now we have game 1, which will be Arabia. And let me just switch over to the game itself. Yeah, just a sec.
Wilding is saying chat placement is
Yes.
out.
Chat placement is out. I'll just fix that.
Yeah. If you can fix it, just fix it, man.
Indeed, I am trying.
Oh,
Procasters,
wait.
man. I think this should be better.
Yeah, now it's better, I think.
Okay, so
Wait, why? Okay.
somebody needs to add a noise filter. I think that's me. Okay, I guess we'll have to refer to the chat quite a bit because this is our first day. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Let's hope
let's
for the
hope.
best.
Exactly, yeah. So, anyways, I'm in game. I've paused the game at 5 seconds. I believe so have you guys.
Yeah,
I'll switch
same,
over to
same.
the game screen. And yeah, let's go. So, we'll unpause in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Oh,
Okay, so first we have Cyanide playing for Masterplan as their flank. He's playing as the Mayans. His pocket is. Where's his pocket? Right, here's the
so
pocket. So I'm sorry, that's not the pocket. Here's the pocket. The pocket is Sir Tala playing as the flanks, and the other flank is History Nerd playing as the Britons. Now, to describe FTN's civilizations and everything, we have Babuji. So yeah, please
okay.
go ahead.
So history nuts flank on history nut side is Bomberman with Vikings, and the pocket is Alpha Omega with Magyars, and on the Cyanide side there is Attila Chingam with Lithuanians, and he has already built a barracks. So
Yeah. So
Looks like he's
it's
going
it
might go for the
seems like
instant
it's
rush.
going to be a 3 minute rush. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. So basically, the build involves them not building a mill or a lumber camp. So their first building, which actually uses wood, will be the barracks, and I believe that's what he has done.
And
Oh,
already he has been attacked by a
yeah.
lion.
So those two militias have lost some health. I don't believe they've actually found cyanide yet. Let me just check. Oh no.
No, not yet.
Yeah, so Attila hasn't scouted Cyanide's base yet. Actually, I would believe he wouldn't even know who his opponent is at this point.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
he's trying to find out.
but pretty aggressive start. And
Okay, he almost ran into a
another lion, yes.
lion. Yeah.
Okay, meanwhile, what's going on at the pockets? Has anybody lost any wills to a boar? Anything else?
Oh,
Nothing yet. What's the scouting like? So, Cyanide seems to be bringing in his first bow. That's Cyanide Scout. Okay, Cyanide Scout is basically, I think he has found his entire base that has to be walled up. So at this point, yeah, he will start with the walling. And meanwhile, we have Sir Tala, who has done a bad bow there, but I digress. Let's move on.
okay,
And
and
there we go. The,
cyanide is housed.
the trust has come in. Indeed, Cyanide is housed because he was forced to abandon the building of that house. He's trying. Oh, will he lose the will?
Let's see. He
Uh,
may. Okay, he's safe.
okay.
But he tries quick walling. Okay, he has
Oh,
quick walled
oh,
his villager in.
so the
That's
berry
good.
villager is safe for now. But the
Yeah,
issue is that he's still walled. So let's see what happens.
yeah.
I
Taylor might have gone for the rush, but he's ended up leaving himself only. He's like three villagers behind everybody else now.
Yeah,
The
and not
microing.
only is he three villagers behind, he seems to have lost a villager to the boar. As has
Yeah.
Alpha Omega, I believe so. Yeah,
Oh,
you can
yes,
actually see
yes.
the dead body of that will over there. So the early aggression, I mean, it has sort of paid off because Cyanide is two wills down at this point. But yeah, I mean, they've lost their own wills, so it's not very effective.
Okay, so bill numbers are Attila at 15, Alpha at 15, Bomberman at 17, and Tala and History at 18. Cyanide is still at, okay, he's at 16 now.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's see where this goes. What do you think about the teams?
I think, okay,
So, Cyanide has gone for a classic flank civ, the Mayans, which,
yes.
I mean, it's a powerhouse on Arabia. Oh, I think both the militias will be going down. Yeah,
And, okay, he's trying to kill the boar now.
yeah. I think it's been a pretty
Yeah,
hectic start.
yeah,
Unlike,
definitely.
yeah. Unlike most games, we actually have action happening in the first 5 minutes, which is very good.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So talking about the civs, generally Masterplan have gone with pretty standard area civs.
yeah.
Surprise for us at least when we
Yeah, so Sir Tala has gone for the Franks, which is again a sort of a classic meta pick with the extremely effective cavalry, and he has a pretty kick-ass base actually. He can
Yeah,
wall it off
easily
completely.
wallable.
Yeah, it's easily wallable. The only issue is he doesn't have access to any safe golds. His
Uh,
main gold is pretty exposed. If he can sort of manage to wall off his sides properly, he could get access to at least one or two piles of safe gold by walling off here and walling off here.
yeah.
But yeah, that would make his base quite unwieldy. So let's see how he decides to wall up. And we have History Nerd here, who has also pretty much walled off the front of his base.
Yeah,
He,
and he's about to wall off his back.
yeah. Now, moving on to Bomberman, who's playing as the Vikings. Again, another pretty classic civ for Arabia with their extremely powerful economy bonuses and their fully upgraded archers. They are also a powerhouse.
And he's already on, okay, 7 drills on wood.
Sorry, who?
Okay. Bomberman.
Ah, he's got 8 on wood now.
Okay.
I guess
Okay,
he's going.
everyone is going up to feudal except Alpha Omega. He's still in Dark Age and he hasn't clicked up.
I think he'll be going for a fast castle. Yeah, he's at 26
Yeah.
wills, 27 once this comes out. Does he have loom yet? No loom. Okay, yeah. So he has queued up feudal without actually doing loom. Alpha Omega. So if there is any sort of aggression from Sir Tala or History Nerd, he can actually lose quite a bit here.
the problem for Shinoda is he's created the archery ranges at the wrong direction, facing his pocket rather than the opposing flank.
Uh,
Like scouting had been pretty much left by him.
Sorry, who?
Just was standing in.
History.
Uh,
Yeah, he
oh
built.
yeah. The
Yeah,
ranges are.
production is in the back.
It's
It
yeah.
Production
will
is on
take
the wrong side.
yeah, it will take a long time for the archers to get to
I mean,
this.
this is a skill development cup, right? So
Yeah,
The map was very wallable from the other side, so that has been walled, but
indeed,
has
yeah.
left no space for the production buildings.
yeah.
So at this point, Sir Tala and History Nerd, they actually have some military to produce. History Nerd's military is inside his ranges. What about Sir Tala? Yeah. So
Tala
Tala Attila
has
has 3
three
scouts
scouts.
already out.
Yeah.
Let's see where he
And
decides to go. What about the walling for Attila? He's not walled at the back. He's walled on his sides and his front, but we have Cyanide Scout just camping there, so I think that is where he'll decide to attack.
yeah.
Alpha Omega is completely walled, but I mean these are massive walls for Alpha Omega.
Yeah. Very greedy walling by Alpha Omega.
Yeah. I mean the problem with these walls is even if you manage to wall up completely, you wasted a bunch of wood, and at the same time if Tala sends 3 or 4 of his scouts right at some corner of the base, there's no way he
Yes.
can actually get his villagers to repair it. Alpha Omega, I mean.
Plus, he has a hole at the back which he
Yeah.
just saw.
He seems to have
He
missed
is.
that. Missed that one. Okay, Cyanide seems to be pinging something. Or is it Tala? Oh yeah, it's Tala. Okay.
Okay.
So
Tala
Tala
is
has.
pinging his scout location,
Yeah.
and
I don't.
Cyanide is telling his archers are at the other location. So I think we'll have to wait.
Okay,
And
so
I
the
think,
scouts
yeah,
come in. I don't think he'll be walled in time.
yeah, he built the market at the wrong place. I think
Oh, yeah.
he left a gap
So
open.
let's see how much damage these scouts can cause. That's.
Okay.
I think that will be 2 wills down.
Yeah.
What is he doing
Definitely.
otherwise? Oh, and Cyanide is attacking from his front. He's got 4 archers who are about to attack the wood line. These
And
2
he's
villagers are
putting
dead.
down second barracks. I don't know why.
Uh, Maybe I think
Instead
it was
of,
just as a quick wall. Who knows?
but still, that's a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
investment.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's 175 wood down the drain. Not to mention
Yeah.
the market here, which is also taking up quite a bit of wood.
Yeah.
What are his resources like? Oh, he actually has 18 on wood. So he
Oh.
has 650 wood right now. I mean, the eco balance is completely off. Let's see if he manages to fix it. Okay, Cyanide archers are fletching now. They are on his wood line. Attila's. Which means he's forced to pull back all his villagers from there. What about Tala scouts? Where are they?
They are on the pocket, I guess now. They're going there. And
They are
there's a hole.
inside Alpha Omega's base. Yep.
Yeah. And he's in.
And he's in. Does he have loom? Okay, he does have loom now. He manages to quick wall his own scouts.
Yeah.
Oh. So Alpha Omega
That's,
managed to wall out his own scouts, which means
yeah.
he's
And that village is dead basically
yeah,
now.
that villager is dead. He's got a bunch of other villagers at risk who are about to lose their lives as well. I think Tala has been pretty effective here. He has
Yeah.
a KD of 6 to 0.
Yeah, I mean, he has how many kills? Wait, he has
He
6
has
kills.
he has 6 kills with no deaths. His scouts
Yeah.
are basically being a complete nuisance. First they
Yeah.
were to the flank and now to the pocket.
Yeah, basically, he's carrying.
And if you see, the spear is in the completely wrong place. Oh, he's got 3
Okay,
more
and
kills. And he's running away.
Cyanide is in the base of Attila Chingam now, killing all the skirms.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, this is pretty dire for Attila. If he
Yeah,
can.
idling the whole economy of Attila Chingam.
Yeah. I mean, the
He's
thing here is, if Alpha Omega wasn't under risk, he could have sent his scouts to save Attila.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but instead,
even Tala can send the scouts, right?
yeah,
And it would
absolutely.
be even fight.
Yeah.
And he has caused a lot of idle time for Attila Chingam. I think he's taking revenge for the rush.
Yeah. So looking at the will counts, we have Bomberman at 43 wills. Alpha Omega is at 28, which is pretty bad considering he's the pocket. And Attila is at 39 wills. For Mastaplan, we have all 3 on 35 plus basically.
Yeah.
And the thing here, if you can see, is Mastaplan has massive militaries. Cyanide and History Note both have 23, 25 military units.
And
Yeah.
History Nerd is behind Bomberman's woodline and killing a couple of wills.
Oh, okay.
And
I
Bomberman has just made skirms defense.
I think this
A lot
is
of them.
yeah. I mean, this is the wrong thing to do. I mean, the scoms, if nothing else, if he's just playing defensive, he should have been up to castle faster than this. I mean, it's 22, 23 minutes, and he hasn't clicked up yet.
Yeah, he's using all his food eco for defense, so he
No, I
can't
mean,
click up.
he has the food now. He can actually click up, and he has 1600 wood floating.
Making economy, killing him basically for that.
Yeah. Okay, meanwhile, Cyanide is completely inside Attila's base, doing a bunch of damage. The skirms will go down because they don't have fetching.
Yeah, he could have at least got something.
Okay. And these scouts go down without giving much of a fight. So, yeah. I mean, Bomberman has military, but it's a completely defensive military. Okay, finally he's clicked up the castle. He's at 27, 28%. What's going on with the rest? So,
That is the okay. No. Cyanide will reach the castle. No, no. Okay. Sartala is already there. Oh, sorry.
yeah. So, Sir Tala is already in Castle Age.
Basically, the whole of Mastaplan is about to reach Castle Age, or has already reached Castle Age.
Sir Tala actually has 4 knights.
He sends them up towards History Nerd and then you can like clean up the entire army.
I think that will
During-
completely clear out the skirms if he manages to get in. It's pretty bad for Bomberman.
So what happened in the game was generally both Sartala and History Nerd lost communication on the voice.
Oh,
That, so in for the background, the master plan couldn't really coordinate because they like disconnected.
I mean, it's still effective. They managed to. Okay.
archers are doing a lot of work,
Yeah. So
and
History
skirms can't kill knights that
Absolutely,
easily. So
So
yeah,
History Nord has crossbows now.
yeah.
Bomberman's military consists entirely of skirms. I think it was a completely wrong move. Should have been aggressive. Meanwhile, over at Attila's base,
Yeah.
he's got a bunch of archers here. Cyanide. How many
Cyanide is camping the gold camp right now.
So Attila does not have access to gold right now. He still has his main gold, but he's not taking that.
Yeah.
So
And he's still too heavy on his wood.
yeah, he's got 16 on wood and 18 on food. I don't think he has realized that he has to click up to Castle Age to get a tech advantage, or at least match Cyanide in the tech department.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
so-
not even collecting a single piece of gold.
Yeah, I mean, this is
It's
pretty
sad.
dire. Cyanide has crossbows with Bodkin and the first armor.
Okay, nice.
What about Bomberman? Okay, so History Nerd has Bodkin, and along with the range advantage for the Britons,
Yeah.
I think this is pretty
And Bomberman is elite skirms, but yeah.
I mean, what are they going to do?
Yeah. Knights are there, so he can't do
if,
much.
If History Nerd can just bring his crossbows over to Sir Tala's knights, those storms are
Yeah.
dead. Okay, Alpha Omega finally sends his military. He has
And
4
okay,
knights.
I think he's asking to delete the wall,
Yeah. Asking the wall to be deleted.
but the wall is not being deleted.
Yeah. I think this is just okay. Finally, the wall is deleted. Let's see what they can do. What upgrades the knights are? Okay, so on account of being the Magyars, they get their free attack
Attack
upgrades.
upgrade. Yeah.
But he has the first armor upgrade. What about Satala's knights?
Tala
Okay,
is
so he
plus
has
2.
the +2 armor and the +1 attack bonus.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
Lack of communication hurt Master Plan a bit here at least. History Nerd lost all his archers to skirms.
Yeah, and Tala's knight died, basically.
Okay,
Now the
meanwhile,
Bomberman is time to boom back, I guess,
Arteza
because
is
his base is
basically
safe.
forced to abandon his base.
Oh
So
my
yeah,
god.
those 22 archers have done quite a bit of work, and there are more on the way. Oh, these archers, these crossbows will die to that single knight, will they? Okay, he manages to save a few. And Alpha Omega sends more knights. I think these
Yeah.
crossbows are dead, so
Yeah, most probably they'll die.
yeah. I mean, he's got the plus 2 armor upgrade now. So those knights will be
And
quite effective.
Alpha
These.
Omega is constantly making knights and sending them
Okay, so
to
Cyanide is
save his
actually
flanks.
asking Sir Tala to send his knights to protect his crossbows.
Yeah.
Where are they? Yeah, here they are. So that's 9 knights on the way to Arteza's
Versus
base. Yeah.
versus 11. Okay, but some are
Okay, so it
low
seems
HP
Mastaplan is
knights.
having to communicate over chat.
Yeah, that's why I think, yeah, see, his knights are going ahead instead of engaging. Armies are out of position for both.
Yeah. But where's Cyanide taking his crossbows? And he's got a few pikes out as well. Cyanide.
Yeah.
In
That,
case Sir Tala decides to send his knights to help History Nord, I think those pikes plus the crossbows should be enough to at least defend against them.
okay, but that's a bad engagement for Sotala. He's going to lose all his
Oh,
knights.
okay. Yeah. And it seems Alpha Omega, even with the hill disadvantage, so Tala's knights are actually on top of the hill. And
Yeah, but
yeah, okay, so he manages to
they're
save
pretty
one knight.
low.
Yeah,
Pretty low numbers, right? So he can't do much.
he's all in knights. Yep.
But at least he's booming on 3 TCs and behind
Yeah. So
while
Cyanide is also on 3 TCs. So Tala is on 3 TCs. And
but Alpha Omega is on single TC, right? So
what?
yeah.
Yeah, Pocket is on a single TC. Okay.
Yeah, it's he's still on 1 TC, right? He's building the other
Yeah.
one right now, so
Yeah, they need to catch up in the game because
yeah.
they got attacked in the beginning.
Meanwhile, so
He's-
Tala is already 15% up to Imperial Age. I think this will end up being a quick game.
I mean History Nerd is doing Archer micro. Nice.
Okay, these knights are toast.
They have too many skirms for Bomberman.
Yeah. It's
He's
hard.
losing them.
Without a knight, I think it's very hard against skirms. At least 1 or 2 knights, I think all these skirms would have been dead.
But I don't understand this thing where Bomberman has basically made a military entirely of trash units. It's just elite skirms and pikes.
Yeah, but
I
against
mean,
knights and skirms, knights and archers, that's a
yeah, I
very
mean, if
bad.
you look at it, he's got 14 villagers on gold, he has 2000 gold floating, and he's making no use of it. He is on 2 TCs, and I mean, with the Viking bonus, they could be so effective. He got 26 on wood, 14 on gold. He could basically keep pumping archers out of 3 ranges. Instead, he's making knights for some reason.
Yeah, and everyone on Mastaplan is almost 3 TC.
Yeah. What about history
If the
now?
game goes late, then Mastaplan is definitely going to win because of the economy.
Yeah. I mean, Mastaplan.
And
Okay, Cyanide.
Cyanide keeps sending his archers back. I don't know why.
Cyanide is actually building a 4th TC now on his
Okay.
gold. So,
Okay.
yeah. 4. Actually, make that. Just a second. How many TCs is that? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
Cyanide
that's
is
fourth
about
one.
to be on 5 TCs.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Cyanide is about to be on 5 TCs very soon. He's
Three?
got 3 inside his base.
Yeah. Where is the fourth one? Fourth one is
There's a
also
fifth
coming
one.
on.
The fifth one on the wood line at the
Yeah.
outside edge of
So
his base.
5th one is on the wood line.
Okay.
He's got 3 inside his base. He has completely cleared out that inside wood line. So I think he'll have to send out some lumberjacks, or maybe he can just use this on the edge of his
Okay.
map.
And Tala is already in,
Tala is already
and,
in, yes.
and he has a
And
big mass of knights about to be cavalier, I guess.
okay, Bomberman is making a
Yeah,
siege workshop.
almost done. As soon as the cavalier hits, I think he's going to hit someone.
Yeah.
And there
Meanwhile,
is a
Alpha
huge
Omega is
mass
making
of
a.
archers for Cyanide going to
o-
Attila Chingam's
Okay,
base.
and Cyanide is asking his team where to send his archers. Yeah, because how many villagers does Attila have? Attila has 45 vills, and I think they're all about to die to those cavaliers.
Yeah, I think he has no defense, nothing.
What is
He's
Bomberman
building his
doing?
third TC.
Okay,
Third? No, second
so
TC.
Bomberman finally makes use of some of his gold. He's got two mangonels out and he's got a few knights in his stable. So let's see what
Yeah.
that mangonel ends up doing. And it's
It's
a one
about
for
to be
one
a
trade.
mango fight,
Yeah,
most
it's a one
probably.
for one trade.
That's a one for one.
Yeah, I think at this point, just to have some symmetry, History Note should make a second mango. They
Oh.
can take each other out and then they can engage with the archers and the skirms.
And on the bottom flank, okay, Tala now has paladins and is basically killing whatever
Yeah.
remains of Attila Chingam.
So Attila seems to have a small base next to the edge of the map, which is basically just a bunch of lumberjacks.
Yeah, but it's still very close to the original base, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And there is a huge amount of army there
sorry,
already. So I
Alpha
don't think it
Omega.
will survive for much longer than that.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's pretty dead
If
now.
the if the paladins move that way, basically he's completely out of the game.
Yeah, so Attila basically has just 26 villagers at this point.
Yeah, and
And
he's doing the mass migration now.
okay, he's sending them over to Alpha Omega.
Yeah, and I think the knights and archers are going there next, so that will be a disaster for him.
Okay, so History Node and Cyanide have also started researching Imperial. Meanwhile, Alpha Omega is 50% up to the Imperial age. Let's see what he plans
Yeah,
to do with that. Okay, Cyanide is dropping a forward castle or a side castle on Attila's base. Pretty pointless as it will turn out because the base is completely empty now. And looking at Bomberman, I think that military of Bombermans would be able to take History Note's military at this point, but
really?
for some reason he just seems to want to camp over there.
Yeah, because I think he's scared of those paladins, right? If they come in, basically his whole army will die.
Hmm. I think if there was some team communication, Attila could have told them that those paladins are actually at his own base, destroying it completely. So
Yeah,
he might as well just move forward and try and finish off History Node. Because he has a
Bomberman
massive
has enough
village.
military to just finish off History Nerd. Yes, he's 30 units more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's
I mean,
52
but why
skirms,
is Alpha
27.
Omega still at 95 pop? He should be a bit higher than that.
Yeah, I mean, being the pocket,
It's the
he should
pocket,
definitely
yeah,
be
and he
higher.
wasn't basically attacked. He went for defense, but he didn't get attacked in his base, so he should have more.
Yeah, so. Okay, the castle has come
While
up. And there's a
everyone
siege
basically
workshop.
has a very everyone on Mastaplan is above 150, except History Nerd, which he's about to hit 150.
So Tala is the first one to 100 villagers and is 57 military. He's actually building forward production buildings right outside Attila's base. So I think this will end up being a push into Alpha Omega's base. Oh, he's already killing his PC. I think if the
Okay.
pocket goes, there's
Yeah.
nobody left
This
now.
this TC is dead basically
Yeah,
now.
yeah, the TC is gone. And the
Yeah.
other
So
TC is
FTN
also.
Bomberman has enough population, but
Yeah,
not his
but
army just camped outside his base.
Okay, so
but
Alpha Omega has
it's
resigned.
basically trash, right? So
Yeah, yeah, I mean it's trash. And not to mention the fact that now once Alpha Omega has resigned,
Yeah.
That
So
means,
basically, game is over.
yeah, Cyanide and Tala's military can actually move on to Bomberman.
Yeah.
Okay,
And the GGs are called.
call the
I think
GG.
this is over.
Yeah.
So that will be the end of first game. He's trying to use the knights as a distraction, but
Will the castle come up before the GG is called? I mean, before the game ends.
no, I think the castle will not come up.
Oi! It'll end up being a town castle, I guess.
Yeah,
We can actually build it.
but
Because
I mean,
those
he
knights
has
are.
a mango standing right there.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
could have
yeah.
sent it forward.
Oh, the castle comes up.
And
Okay.
now all the pikes are going to
Yeah.
die.
GG. So
Okay,
that's the
so
first
that's
game
the
done.
end of first game.
Let's
Let's look at stats.
look at the stats indeed. I'll just change the overlay for that. Yeah. So yeah, looking at the stats. Uh, so Tala seems to have a pretty kick-ass KD here. He's basically 144 to 35, and massive militaries for I mean Mastaplan, the entire team.
Yeah, but the highest military goes for Bomberman with
Yeah.
103.
I mean, if you consider the value of the military, it's
Yeah,
nowhere
but
close to these
still,
guys. But yeah, I mean, he did manage to mass up a military. But
yeah,
considering the Viking economy and the fact that they get fully upgraded archers and their infantry is pretty kick-ass, I mean, it was basically a big mistake to just make trash.
yeah,
Defensive in the beginning.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I
Basically,
maybe
the whole team played very defensive.
yeah. So
They
I mean,
never
apart
went
from
out.
the 3 minute rush, yeah.
Yeah, everything else was basically defense,
Yeah,
defense,
yeah. I
defense.
think more than anything, if their pocket had defended them early feudal age, when most of the aggression happened,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they could
That
have
would have
made
been.
a game out of it. But yeah, I mean, Attila's this thing, the KD is pretty dire. 8 kills and 102 lost, and the highest of 14 military units. We look at the eco, yeah, pretty
And
much the same
Tala
thing.
with perfect timings, I guess.
Yeah.
He went up at Castle at 2010, so that's good.
Yeah. With the scouts, 20-minute castle. I mean, it's pretty good. He
Yeah,
was the first one
even his
to.
Imperial was first,
Yeah. He was
so
the first one to Imperial before 40 minutes. The rest all did it in 44, 45 minutes.
yeah.
Looking at the pop counts and everything. So, yeah. I think Masterplan, pretty much the entire team managed to, like, sort of get to 100 wills.
Because there were
Meanwhile,
three DC movement, right?
yeah.
Three to four
Three, four,
DCs.
five in some
While,
cases, yeah.
yeah,
Overboom.
and FTN didn't build that
Yeah. So I
much
think that
economy,
initial
and
rush.
they weren't even, all in. So
Yeah. I mean,
that's why they lost.
I believe maybe Attila's plan might have been to just do a rush into an FC, but the feudal aggression by Cyanide meant that he couldn't actually get to Castle. I mean, we saw, right, he was not on gold. There was no plan to get to Castle anytime soon. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Attila was never able to recover the
Yeah.
initial attacks.
Yeah.
He was never able to boom properly.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just update the scores. Master plan at 1, and we go on to game 2
It's
now.
pretty evident from the timeline as well. You
Yeah.
can see that Bomberman has had a constant villager and military production.
Yeah.
Rest of his team has just been a downward slope.
Yeah. Okay, so it's time for game 2 between Master Plan and FTN. I
Okay.
am loading
First,
the
I
replay.
think we need to
I think the game was
adjust
in
some
multiple
settings.
parts. Yeah, I'm already on that. So I've paused the replay at 5 seconds. Let me know once you guys are at 5.
Okay. Game two, part one. Okay. So I think Wilding is saying we have to,
We have to.
yeah, decrease the in-game volume I think in-game volume is too
No, that
high.
is already done.
Okay.
I reduced the
And
volume quite a bit.
chat position is also a bit off.
I believe the chat should be fine, no? Yeah, the chat is fine. Okay, so I've loaded the game. I've paused it at 5 seconds. Let me know once you guys are ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
History,
Okay, I'm ready.
sorry,
Yep, ready.
ready? Okay. So we start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay, so it's on Arena. This would be FTN's home map, and Cyanide is playing as the pocket this time with Sir Tala and History Nerd as the flanks.
Okay.
And on FTN side, we actually have a change in the team, this thing composition. So instead of Alpha Omega, we have Shadow Husky playing as their pocket, and Attila and Bomberman are the pockets this time. I mean the flanks.
Flanks.
Okay, so just to go through the civs, for Mastaplan, the first flank is Sir Tala playing as the Aztecs. We have Cyanide in the pocket position playing as the Teutons,
Yeah.
and the other flank being History Nerd playing as the Ethiopians. Okay, on to FTN.
And on the other side, we have Bomberman as Malay, uh, Shadow Husky as a pocket Persians, and the other flank is Attila Chingam as Chinese. Okay,
Okay,
pretty
so
interesting
yeah,
saves.
interesting save picks.
Yeah.
I think with
Persians, I think he'll go Paladins. What about
I mean
Chinese?
now
Chinese might go Tukunus, maybe.
I think the Chinese. Okay, so Attila is already starting to push his first DI in.
Yeah.
Good timing. It's I
Okay.
think at this point the will
Yep.
count is pretty equal. So yeah.
Any start is a bit tricky for new players, so it'll be interesting to see how Attila
Yeah.
handles that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So everyone is at about 10 limbs.
Yeah.
Attila is 9 and History Nut is 9, but everyone else is 10. So I think there'll be 10 right now. About the 10 rate. History Nut is not producing wills. Why?
Okay. History node is completely idle.
Okay. I think it's the drop, right?
What's going on?
Complete lag throughout the game for me.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
There were so
Because I
many
had
lags.
this game was pretty much like from the beginning itself. I had like a lot of idle time. We
Yeah.
had a lot of drops in this game.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, the will counts. Everybody is at 11, 12 wills, and history node is at 10.
Yeah. I think it's
I mean, if you're the pocket, it is still sort of fine. You can, because you won't be harassed, let's say 20, 22 minutes. But as the flank, it's pretty risky. At lag, side is okay. So,
yeah.
yeah. And he hasn't found his two sheep that are right outside his base.
Okay.
So,
That will be very hard for him.
yeah. Let's see if Bomberman manages to lame those sheep.
Yeah, he's a flank, so that it will be very hard if
Yeah.
someone notices before him. Okay. Tala was also idle for a second. I think maybe he was scoring 4. Okay, that's why maybe.
Okay, so
Okay,
otherwise
everyone
it's.
is but wait. So the highest population right now is Shadowhusky at 16 and Bomberman at 16, followed by Cyanide at 16. Okay.
Yeah.
Even Bomberman hasn't found two of his sheep. They're at the back of his arena,
Okay.
just out of sight.
Back of his base. Yeah. I mean, but they're safe, right? If
Yeah,
he,
that's
I
still
mean, yeah, he still has to scout it,
safe.
obviously, but at least that's not free food for anybody else.
Yeah.
Okay, so history still hasn't taken those two sheep. Where's the scout?
Yeah. Lucky for history that Bomberman is pushing there.
Yeah. I mean,
So
history
he's
not.
not interested in scouting the other opponent. Otherwise, he would have found the
Yeah.
sheep by now.
History not scout is idle, which is
Yeah.
also a mistake. And as you can see, he hasn't scouted those two sheep. So,
I
yeah.
think, okay. Might be the lag
Oh,
basically.
oh, Bomberman loses a will. Bomberman loses a will to the boar. right next to his mill.
Oh yeah. Okay, why is he just so many
And
wins?
and he
Okay.
might end up losing a second mill
Okay,
or
he will lose it. Oh,
oh.
saved. Last moment saved. Nice.
I mean, I would have said nice reflexes, but they weren't nice reflexes considering he lost a will. So yeah,
Yeah. But
okay.
he's Malay, so he gets faster up, so maybe it won't matter
Yeah, I
as
mean, yeah,
much.
yeah. You can basically make two wills more before you age up.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
yeah, I mean, you still lost a will, right?
yeah, that's true.
So it's
Meanwhile, Shadowhusky has had a clean build as pocket.
Okay, so
During his
who's
tier,
about to
he's
be
got his shield.
pop capped? I think Shadow Husky is about to be pop capped. He's a 24 out of 25.
yeah. Is he making a house anywhere? No, he's not. I think it's time to get loom then. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's about to be
Even okay,
okay.
he's 25 out of 25 now. So I think he's pop capped.
And he gets loom.
Panic house now.
Yeah. And look at that deer
Yeah.
trying to save its life. But he has managed to push in his deer pretty well this game. Oh, okay, as Attila also seems to have lost somebody to a Borzor, I guess. If you see the KDs, he's got one death.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Yeah. Attila
I
and Bomberman both lost
yeah,
one
I
there.
guess we missed that. And
Okay, I think history is disconnected again. Maybe.
yeah, actually he's not disconnected.
Yes.
He's just killed a deer,
Okay, okay.
but a lot of idle time. The surprising thing
Yeah.
is he hasn't actually like been very far. Oh, okay. So these guys have already clicked up to feudal, which is why the will difference isn't that big.
Okay, and Cyanide is already feudal.
Cyanide is already up to the feudal age. What's his eco like?
Cyanide is going 25 plus 2. Okay, so
Yeah.
he is.
He has, I think,
He has the
resources
gold, but
should be fine. I
food
think
maybe. I don't know. Okay, he's about to get all the food he needs.
blacksmith is up.
Okay,
Market is about to be built.
and he can click up now.
Yeah.
Okay, he has
Okay, he
clicked
has
up.
clicked up at 12 minutes and 10 seconds or so.
Okay. History nerd
Oh,
pinged the
okay.
location of. Acha, okay, he pinged the location of the relic.
So there was a scout fight, but nothing
No
is going
scout
on after
fights
that. Yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah. No, no. I mean, Cyanide and Shadow Husky scouts had a small fight. So if you see their HP, they've lost some, but nothing major yet.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Bomberman also seems to want to go for an FC. He's doing his blacksmith and market. What about Shadow Husky? Shadow Husky hasn't actually clicked up to castle yet.
Oh,
I think his farms were delayed, which meant that he did not have the food to it.
he
Yeah.
needs 50 more food
I think he
basically.
can just sell off the board, buy some food, and click up immediately.
Yeah, he has a lot of
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if he wait,
wood. He can
yeah,
sell it.
he's got 14 on wood, right? So
Yeah,
I think this is
that's a lot
just
of
a
wood. He
waste of
doesn't need
time.
that
And
much
he's
wood
not producing
anyways.
wills either. So he's trying to
Yeah,
garrison his wills to get the food,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
not enough.
I think he has a market. He could have actually.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have Bomberman already on his way to Castle Age. What percent is he at? He's at 45%. Okay.
Yeah,
Cyanide is forced to
Malay,
castle.
so he'll get there
Yeah.
faster as well.
So Cyanide is forced to
And
castle with
okay, what
less than 15
is his
minutes.
plan actually, Bomberman?
I think they're Malay. They can always do their elephant strats, right?
Yeah,
But it depends on
yeah.
how much the pocket ends up supporting them.
Okay, he
Let's
is
see.
building a barracks, so most of okay, history nerd
Okay,
got
history node
disconnected, I
has been
guess.
disconnected. Okay, so
Yeah.
in that case, Time to switch to part 2 of the rec.
Okay, so History Nerd is at 26 pop while everyone else is 27, 28, and 29, 30.
Okay, I think that would be because of the idle time, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that would be very hard for him.
Hmm. Definitely.
Especially since his flank is pretty good.
Yeah. So I've loaded up part 2 of the replay. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Okay, I'm paused.
History?
Just loading it up.
Yeah, sure.
Wait,
I'm at 1541.
yeah, same.
Okay.
Let's start at
So just a
3.
second. Yeah. So 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So looking at the will counts, Bomberman is at 30. Everybody else is close to 30, with History Note being the farthest at 26 wills.
Yeah, and he just clicked up, so
Hmm.
he's going to be very delayed.
Is there any sort of aggression yet? Nothing that I can see of.
Yeah, nobody's forwarding castles or
No castle drops,
siege monk
no siege
push.
monk pushes,
No,
no. Is
Bomberman has a barracks and
So at this point we have three players in the castle age already. Cyanide, Sir Tala, and who is it? Okay, four. Shadow Husky and Bomberman.
okay.
Uh, let's see if there's any fight for the relics.
Thala is going for 3 TC boom. Same as Cyanide, I guess.
So
Yeah,
that's two
and
and three
History
TCs.
Nerd is about to reach castle. It'll take some time because of the delays.
Cyanide already has a second TC up. The
But
third one is being
everyone
built.
else, I think nobody else is going anything. Actually, everyone is booming.
Yeah, I think everybody's just decided to chill after the first
Yeah,
game.
full booming. I
Yeah.
mean, Bomberman made a barracks. I think he is expecting some aggression.
Hmm.
It's a defensive barracks, I guess. In case something comes, he will
Okay,
build
so
up his army.
yeah, so Sir Tala seems to have spotted the defensive
Shadow.
castle being made. Yep. I guess he's just pinging his teammates to let them know that there's a castle coming up. He has a
Okay.
monastery. Okay.
Attila Chingam is only on 2 TCs and he's building a castle, so I think he'll be the first one to go aggressive.
Hmm.
Everyone else is 3 TC booming.
What is Shadow Husky doing? Okay, Shadow Husky is also on
He's
3
also 3
TCs.
TC
Yeah.
booming,
He's
basically.
also on 3 TCs. But the thing with Shadow Husky is he's got no villagers on gold at this point, which means his only objective is to build a bunch of farms and get a shitload of villagers out. I mean, there's no plan to make a military of any sort, right? There's no gold income. If you look at Bomberman's on 3 TCs.
Yeah, everyone is 3 TC booming,
Yeah.
basically, except for
Except
Attila.
for Attila, yeah.
Attila is. But Attila is not making any army from that castle.
Oh, that monk goes down. So Tala's monk has just gone down. I think he was going to pick up a relic.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
that's bad.
So that's the first death of the game. I mean, enemy death, if you can call it.
Sabtala is heavy on gold actually.
Oh, yeah. Got
There's
18
way too many on board right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
Delays Imperial times.
yeah.
Okay, let's see if this monk manages to get where he wants to go.
Cyanide is sending his wills outside, I don't know where.
Yeah, okay, so just an explanation. I might have mistakenly set my gather point for the TC outside,
Okay.
which is why they were just spawning and heading out, and they were without loom.
Okay. I
Yeah.
thought Viper is sending your wills outside. Okay, now we have
Okay.
cyanides. knight standing there
Yeah.
to protect the monk.
Okay, so this relic will end up going to Sir
Yeah.
Thala. What about the second relic? Because Bomberman's camping on. Oh, he just moves his scout. But he might be able to kill. Oh, yes.
Bomberman, yes, he
Yeah,
will
so
kill.
Sir Tala's
Okay,
second monk has gone down.
Yeah. Bomberman
that's
and Tala are the only
that's
ones who
very,
have monasteries.
yeah, that's very unfortunate for Tala. Lost two two monks basically.
Okay, so Attila's scout was being chased, and Shadow Husky's scout has gone down. Oh, okay. Attila actually has some military out. He's got 5 Chukunus just camping inside the walls.
Bomberman
Okay.
just picked up his first, selected his first relic.
Okay, so Tala finally manages to get a relic inside his monastery. What's happening at History North's base? Okay. So History North seems to have had
The
quite a
kingdom
bit
is
of.
actually gathering some,
Sorry?
I mean, massing some
Yeah, yeah. He's
chupunus, but
actually
yeah,
started
it's
producing his
pretty late for
Chukunus.
that mass.
Yeah.
You should have a bit
But
more than that, at least
I mean,
20
if you look at it,
by now.
yeah, no, I mean, if you look at it, Sir Tala does not have any military to speak of,
Yeah,
apart from his monks or single monk, or is that 2 monks? Yeah, so 2 monks and a scout is the entirety of Sir Tala's military at this point. Okay, another scout has gone down. This one belonging to Bomberman.
Shadowski is, I think, preparing to go up. He just built two buildings and is starting to build
Yeah, yeah,
stables.
yeah. I should have the resources to pick up pretty quickly now.
I mean, he almost has the resources,
Yeah, yeah.
but he's pop capped, so he's building a house now.
I think it's pretty nice to see that he has got like 42, 43 farmers at this point. So if you look at
Yeah,
his food income, it's extremely
it's a
fast.
good income. Yeah, he
Yeah,
can
yeah,
easily mass those lights as soon as
yeah.
it's new.
He screwed up too many wells in his DCs if you see his production queue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's got.
And might actually delay his.
Okay, I think he has. Yeah, he has just clicked up to imp now.
And okay,
Uh,
why is
okay, so Cyanide and Shadow Husky have clicked up to him pretty much at the same time. They're both at around 10 to 12%.
yeah, cyanide is also okay? Cyanide is a lot of
I think, yeah.
production already built. That's
Cyanide,
good.
yeah. Cyanide has 4 TCs already, and he's building his first production buildings.
Yeah, and
That's 8
he has more
stables.
villagers as well. So yeah,
Okay,
he
so
has a better boom than Shadow Husky
yeah, yeah. I
definitely.
mean, if we see right now, he's got 10 stables being built. I mean, 4 have
Yeah.
already been built with 6 more on the way. So,
Is he okay? He's doing the researches right now.
yeah.
Scale barding is almost done. Okay, it's done now, and bloodline is being done. So yeah, he's preparing for the
Okay, so
imperial
Attila,
push. Okay,
okay,
and there
there
has been a
seems
sale
to
has
be
been
another
created for
disconnection.
restoring. Yep.
Oh man. But
Okay,
I think
so
what
I
is
think
going
it's
on
going
here
to
is, yeah, yeah.
part three
Yeah.
now.
If
Streamer
we,
has like
yeah, yeah,
got
if we look at
disconnected
it,
again.
His synod is having a bad time right now.
history
And
node
like 30
is,
wells behind.
yeah, oh. And it's not
It's
just the 30 wills, right? Like when you disconnect, after that the game goes on for a while. So your villagers have been idle for a very long time. Not just the fact that you're not producing more wills, but even the wills that you have, they aren't doing any sort of work. I mean, the ones who are
Like the
farming or
game pretty
collecting
much
resources.
came a 2v3 at this point.
Yeah.
Like Streamer is very far behind.
I mean, look at the uptimes, right? His synod is 1324 and 1823. So yeah, he's pretty behind basically because of the lag.
Yeah. So if
It's a
we,
very uphill battle for Team Mastaplan this game.
hmm. So Attila seems to have
Okay.
some military already, but apart from that, if you look at the will counts, Cyanide and Bomberman are the two who have crossed 100 wills, and Bomberman seems to have got control of 3 relics. We missed that, and Satala has 2 relics. But yeah, so on to part 3.
Will this contain more excitement?
And Wilding is telling that if you can boom behind with aggression, That's pretty good on arena.
Yeah. Okay, so I've paused it at 28 minutes and 4 seconds. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Okay,
Same here.
I'm at 28.5.
Okay, so let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, history nerd, are you on?
Yeah, let's go.
Uh, okay. So part 3 was just, I think, a few seconds.
Oh,
Yeah, so I think there were
okay, yeah.
quite a few disconnections during this game.
No, in part 3, what happened is, for me, the game got stuck on the loading screen. I had to Alt F4.
Yes, right.
So we load part 4, I guess, basically.
Yeah. So let's.
Okay, I'm paused at 28.06.
Yeah, same here. Paused at 2806.
History, you're loaded, right?
History.
I'm also at 2806.
Okay, so let's unpause at 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Okay.
So the thing is, the scores are pretty similar except for history nodes, and his bill count is also less. But then he isn't being punished for it. Bomberman seems to have made no military yet, and he's
And he has
sending.
a lot of people on wood.
Yeah, and okay,
Need 28 farms from him.
he has sent 2 villagers forward.
Guys, is my voice breaking a lot?
I don't think so. No, not in
Yes.
my end.
It's not?
No, it's fine. Okay, Shadow Husky is
Because
the first to get to Imperial.
you guys' voice is, I think, breaking a lot for me, so it might be my internet.
Okay. Cyanide has started producing his knights. He's got 10 out at this point. 9 knights and 1 scout. Okay. Meanwhile, Sotala is still busy trying to steal relics off the map. Does he have any army? Oh, okay. Attila has basically built a forward castle and a siege workshop. And he's got 16 Sukanos just camping there.
So now, FTN have like gone up on the military numbers now.
Yeah. They've started producing.
They're ready for
military.
starting for their push.
And Tala
The
seems to
Mastaplan only
have.
Cyanide has built an army, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Tala's economy, it's pretty unbalanced. He's got just 14 on wood. He's got quite a few farms, but then he isn't making any military, and he's got 10 on stone. Okay, that monk is going to eat dirt at this point.
So he's going to build a TC right next to that castle.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. He ended up losing.
Losing that.
Yeah, he ended up losing the
Yeah.
resources too,
Yeah, that's 100 stone down the drain, actually.
and he's having to make a defensive castle now.
Yeah,
He's got a few mangonels in the siege workshop.
but against
Okay, so Attila
that
seems
bigger
to have
mass,
got
it shouldn't. It will be very hard.
Yeah.
And he's starting to build scorpions.
Cyanide, meanwhile, has a few cavaliers. If we look at the pocket, same thing. So Shadow Husky is also producing cavaliers now. Okay, castle goes up. But it's interesting here, right? I mean, if you look at it, so Tala's outside gold, the forward gold of 4 piles, is basically not possible for him to take now. Unless he
Yeah.
manages to push out Attila. So that's actually a nice castle.
And what?
Yeah, so like FTN are full on the aggression right now.
Okay,
Cyanide, there's not enough army from Mastaplan to like push them back.
okay. Bomberman is also making a forward castle now. History Node has a defensive castle that sort of protects his farming eco. But no military
Tala
to
is a
speak of.
3k gold, actually.
Sorry?
Tala is banking 3k gold.
Tala has 3k gold. He's got 21 villagers on stone. So
Yeah,
what is
I
his
think
plan?
he's preparing to castle drop. Maybe
Even
for
Bomberman has
defensive.
like 3,000 gold. And he isn't queuing any archers from all his archery ranges though. He's only getting
Okay.
one of them.
I think maybe he's just
Producing from one
maybe he's just waiting for his
of them right now.
Arbalest tech to come in. At which point he might start mass producing because he's got a shitload of ranges and with more being built.
There are a lot of ranges to produce out of them.
Yeah.
So you could have actually pushed a lot sooner.
So he's got 3
Okay,
ranges
and
and
Shadow Husky is sending his paladins.
yeah.
I think they are about to attack Talha.
So that's 26 paladins.
Yeah,
And yeah.
everyone is moving in basically. Okay,
Oh, okay,
the
those onagers.
onagers might get some juicy connects.
Oh,
Okay, they got some juicy connects.
yeah. That's about
But the-
10 to 12
yeah.
Chupanos down.
Yeah, but paladins are coming now,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be very
seems
hard
there's
for
been a
them.
lack of communication from Mastaplan again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cyanide has his,
Cyanide's paladins were just there in his base.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
okay, almost
those
okay.
onagers seem
Now,
to have opened the gates for those
yeah,
paladins,
paladins.
which means those onagers will end up going down.
Yeah, if he had a monk there, he would have actually converted and
Yeah.
salvaged the situation.
Yeah. Okay, so
But I don't
Cyanide,
think his monk is there. Maybe it's dead already.
so Cyanide's paladins are actually going towards the front of Tala's base to try and take down the Chupanos and the castle. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Shadow Husky seems to have managed to get in and is breaking down the gate.
Yeah.
So if Shadow Husky actually gets in, this could be quite fatal.
G-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on
It's
the
GG
left,
for Tala.
Bomberman is
Oh.
pushing his nerd on the left.
Okay,
Two
meanwhile,
castles on his base.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bomberman has quite a few archers now who are moving into History Nerd's base.
So now I'm trying to panic and get some bombard cannons out. Get some fence.
But I mean, under these circumstances, it's quite difficult to make any sort of military, right? It's,
I think the only thing he could have actually made was siege ramp, but siege ramp takes time, right? You
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
exactly.
do two researches
And Bomberman
before
was pretty passive actually. He could have actually pushed a lot
Okay.
more aggressively.
So Sir
Couldn't
Tala's
maybe
base,
show how much army he had.
Sir Tala's base is about to be flattened completely with those paladins. Cyanide sends his, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of miscommunication right now because skirms are dying outside.
So even then, at this point, Cyanide seems to have expanded outside his base. He's started to collect the gold, the neutral golds that are available. And History Nerd seems to have managed to hold his own over there.
But his castle is down
Yeah,
now,
the castle
so
is down.
the archers will come in and basically kill every archer that's
Yeah, yeah.
still inside.
And if you look at the will counts, Sir Tala only has 41 wills. So, I mean, unless he manages to boom back very quickly, this is going to be a short game.
I mean, he has 2k food actually, so he can do that, but he needs TCs as well. And he has 1k stone, so he can actually put down 2 or 3 TCs immediately.
Okay, Cyanide is making a castle right outside Sir Tala's base, which I don't think is protecting anything. Meanwhile, History Nerd is pinging his teammates
Yeah.
that he's also dying.
About his imminent death.
Yeah,
We're pretty much just discussing. Maybe we would have to call it now.
yeah. Okay, the halves are in.
Bomberman is not as aggressive as he can be actually.
Yeah, he can pretty much wipe me out a lot sooner. But
I think
it's pretty much game or GG now. So
Yeah,
can't really-
no,
I
no, I
think
mean-
because he doesn't have a meat shield, right? That's why
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
a bit scared.
Yeah.
Archers are very low on HP, so
their
PC
pockets
fire
are
can
actually-
basically kill them off easily.
Yeah,
He
so I mean,
doesn't
their-
want to lose the mass.
yeah. So the pockets are basically on the other side, right? Cyanide and Shadow Husky,
Yeah.
which means the
Tala is
On this
actually
side,
doing good thing
they're
of
actually
creating.
using a lot of scorpions, but they're just dying to the paladin.
yeah,
I mean, Tala is doing the good job of creating those terms, right?
yeah.
Because he doesn't have the eco to produce anything else.
Okay, but History Nerd's base is about to be wiped out as well.
So on the way to being defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think he should have Mass migrated a bit
Yeah, yeah.
earlier.
I think it's GG now because History Note has 43 wills and Sir Tala has 41 wills.
Yeah. And Cyanide alone can't fight three people at a
Yeah, yeah,
time.
exactly. I mean, he's got bombard cannons out, but quite
Yeah, they
pointless
are
at
being
this point.
sniped by
Yeah.
Shadow Huskies paladins.
And in military numbers, Bomberman is like 70 military
Yeah.
compared to he's like 30 ahead of everybody else.
I think the thing with him is he's also making the helps, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just the
Yeah,
archers that are taking up the
because
numbers.
he has less eco value, right? That's why he can produce
Exactly.
more. And Archer needs mass, so you have to have a lot more than knights or
Okay, so
palas.
Shadow Husky has also started producing pikes,
Okay,
which
that's
is
interesting.
pretty interesting, yeah. I mean, he has the
Yeah,
resource. Oh, he doesn't have gold. He's just got 17
yeah,
gold and 170 gold.
he didn't need to. I mean, Chinese are halves, and I don't
Yeah.
think Persians get halves. So
The Persians don't get Halberdier.
I mean, Attila has
yes,
3500 gold. He could have actually just slung some gold to Shadow Husky.
Yeah, but at this point they must be lessing the game as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
so that's
I
no
mean,
reason for
I
that
believe
now.
they had enough military to finish the game.
yeah, but still, it's not a good call.
Yeah,
They could
there's a
have
few things
actually,
they can improve for later on, but yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
And
history note
History
is
Nerd is
saying,
saying he's
yeah,
gone.
Eco is gone.
Eco is dead.
Five
History
left
Nerd
now.
still has two bombard cannons actually.
Yeah, they're just trying to get one good shot before the game ended.
Yeah.
They're just
It is,
dying. The Habs are just chasing them down.
yeah. And Cyanide's knights can't actually engage those.
No, no, there's no way of
Yeah. Yeah.
pushing back.
Even at
Paladins
Toshin
can't.
engine by that time, I think I was just trying to get one or two good shots with that
Okay.
bombard cannon.
Still, it's very hard, right?
Uh,
You have to ask
meanwhile,
Cyanide to put his army on stand ground so that everyone punches up there.
okay,
Just so he
meanwhile,
can get a good shot.
FTN's bases are completely unharmed, even though the lumberjacks are having to walk a few miles just to deposit their wood. In Bomberman's case,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting them some good exercise in.
yeah,
I mean, if you look at Tala, he has already, I think, boomed back. His eco is working pretty well.
yeah. He's got
But
1,000 stone.
yes, I think
I think the thing
History
here
Nerd dying
is,
is very hard for
yeah, because the thing here
Mastaplan to
is,
come back, right? Yeah.
yeah,
And
the
History Nerd was Ethiopians with Ethiopian archers. Yeah, it would have been very good to have that
yeah.
archer mass along with the paladins.
So history, Sir Tala seems to have a military now. He seems to be booming, and he has 1,000 stone. If he actually dropped a forward castle and then built a TC behind that, the extra gold that he has outside his base, he could have actually boomed back and been able to produce military. But then on the other side, history node is completely dead with zero pop.
Attila also has a lot of military, but he's just camping them next to his own base.
Yeah. Okay, so history node is at zero pop. It's basically his production buildings which are keeping him alive.
It's on the way to being defeated.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess this
Bomberman
game
is building a
is
castle in my base now.
easy.
That was a good hold by Tala.
Okay, so Shadow Husky seems to have resorted to making just trash now. Which is still enough, right? I mean, Cyanide is just making paladins and they'll go down to those halbs.
Yeah. There are a
Okay,
lot
yeah.
of sponagers from Tala.
Okay, but they've just called the GG.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have been a very epic engagement. Okay, now there was a lot of miscommunication, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so they've called the GG, but nobody has resigned yet.
Maybe they thought they could hold on, but they
Yeah,
can't.
Cyanide was convincing us to see maybe yeah, we can hold, we can hold.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
I mean, with the forward castles going down and everything, yeah, there's no
Okay,
point
finally the
going any
GC has been
further.
called.
Yeah. game ends, and let's see the stats. So, hey, thanks for the
Okay,
follow.
so military wise, yeah, very low military for master plan basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the military stats, the largest military that they had was 61,
Cyanide,
47, and
yeah,
24,
cyanide.
right? Yeah,
And
And pretty much opposite of the Arabia game.
yeah, exactly. And same thing with the KDs. Attila had a pretty bad KD of 165 kills and 213 lost. But yeah, apart from that, Shadow Husky and Bomberman, they were pretty good.
yeah, I mean cyanide is the highest kills, but still one
Yeah, I
man
mean
can't
those,
basically
yeah,
kill
yeah,
people,
those
right?
Teutonic Paladins can only do so much.
Yeah,
Okay. If you look at the eco, Cyanide and Shadow Husky pretty much had the same amount of food,
yeah.
and
But gold was basically high for
yeah,
cyanide.
yeah. I mean, basically everyone on our side of the map collecting the gold.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I believe History Nerd, when he basically went to zero pop, he had slung quite a few resources.
Oh yeah,
If you
yeah.
can see, yeah. So that
4K.
could also be a factor in that. If you look at the tech times, Shadow Husky the first to Imperial below 30 minutes, and
Yeah,
Cyanide was the first to Castle with a 1450 time, which
that's good.
is yeah pretty good, but pointless as it turns out.
No, it's
So
not pointless. At least tried, yeah. You guys tried.
yeah, yeah. If you look
I
at
mean,
the
HistoryNet was having problems with the internet, that's why.
yeah,
Otherwise,
absolutely.
it might have turned out different. One
Yeah, I
can
had to
say
sell,
that.
I had to buy food to like click up to him earlier than Bomberman.
Okay,
Like 7 seconds after Bomberman, I clicked up
okay.
by buying food and all, and
Uh,
no resources to produce army.
Oh,
Looking at the society, so Bomberman without any sort of fuss managed to collect three relics, and Sir Tala with his
two
Aztec
relics.
monks,
Yes.
yeah, he got two
Still,
relics. I think he sacrificed quite a lot of monks in pursuit of those
yeah,
relics.
that's
So
that's
yeah,
right.
but 140 wills for Attila, Cyanide, and Shadow Husky.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so okay,
I mean,
looking
still
at
the
the
HistoryNet
timeline,
got 93, so that's good.
yeah.
Thala at 107 is
I,
also good.
So that Bomberman didn't push
I
sooner.
think the main mistake by Mastaplan was not to have a military ready when they were being attacked. The eco balance was pretty off for Sotala as well. I mean, he had a bunch of gold
Yeah,
with no military to show for it, so that
yeah.
was
I
a
think
big factor.
he didn't have a plan actually.
Hmm, might be possible. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, considering this was FTN's map, yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
I
and
think it's better as a pocket than flank. I
yeah,
think that's why he was not prepared for a flank position play.
yeah. Looking at the timeline, it's I mean, it's pretty representative of what happened in the game. History Node ended up with zero pop, and
Yeah, except for Attila Chingam, everyone started making military around Imperial Age
yeah,
only.
yeah, yeah,
Or after
yeah,
that,
yeah.
nobody
Those
was
Chokonos,
aggressive on Castle Age at all.
yeah, yeah. Those Chokonos basically in Castle Age were the only military, apart from Bomberman making a few units. But yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Only one thing is FTN could have probably pushed a lot sooner. Otherwise, they're a pretty good, solid game for them.
Yeah, but I think these disconnections. I mean, it works for both the teams, right? With the distractions and
Yeah.
everything. But it's just a well played game by FTN more than anything. Like they just beat Mastaplan. I mean, you can give the excuses or whatever, the disconnections or the distractions or whatever. But then, apart from History Note's issues where his villagers were idle for very long, it's just I mean, not a properly planned game execution by Cyanide and Sortala. So yeah,
yeah.
okay, on to game three. Let's load it up. I will pause it at 3 seconds. Let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
I'm paused at
Pause at 3 seconds.
yes.
Okay. So yeah, let's go to game 3. Unpausing in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, so this is Mastaplan's home map, hideout, and we have Cyanide playing as the Celts, and he's their flank. The other flank is Sotala playing as the Japanese, and their pocket is Bavin playing as the Berbers.
Okay.
So yeah,
And on the other side, we have Bomberman as Saracens. Okay, nice. And the pocket is Attila Chingam as Slavs, and the other flank is Shark as Vietnamese. Okay, so both the flanks have archers, and the
yeah,
pocket is Slavs. Okay, Slavs are good. Okay, they can go cavalry. They have faster farming, so yeah, it's
The
very good
Slavs
for
can
peasants.
boom pretty well.
yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be pretty much untouched.
Yes.
And I mean, at this point, there's nothing much to describe. Let's just go over their maps. So Cyanide has a pretty safe gold, and his stone is quite exposed along with his berries. So
Yeah.
if there is any sort of an early rush from Shark, it can be pretty destructive. If you look at
But
Balance map, his gold is safe, the berries are safe, and the stone is also pretty safe. And for Sotala, his gold is slightly exposed, but then apart from that, he has a very safe stone and berries.
but I think yeah, he's at the most risk, right? Because he has a
Sorry?
Saracens as a
Yeah,
flank. So
yeah,
yeah, the archers can break in at
exactly, yeah.
its feudal age as well.
And Bomberman actually has some idle time with his wills on account of him being busy in pushing the deer.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah, pretty poor yellow there.
yeah. I think the deer actually managed to almost escape, but the arrows did the trick. And looking at Bomberman's base, that gold is actually quite safe. The stone and the berries are extremely safe. So as long as he can keep the aggression at his opponent's flank,
Yeah,
he can
I
yeah.
think he didn't even need to
Pretty good match
push
for
the
him.
deer, right?
Yeah.
Because his deer is basically spawned beside
Yeah,
his
but I mean,
berries.
in SDC we've seen this quite a bit because the elos of pretty much all the players are in the thousands, right? It's maybe say 950,000, 1100 or whatever,
Yeah.
and they seem to be quite what you can call it.
Fixated on
Yeah,
some.
yeah. I mean, they are quite fixated on pushing their deer at at the cost of their villagers. So
Yeah. I mean, he didn't need to do that.
yeah. Meanwhile, Attila also has slightly exposed gold and stone, but the berries are pretty safe. And if you look at Shark,
Shark has a great base. He
yeah,
has like
Shark has
two
a
stones and a gold at the back of his
pretty
base.
epic base. And not only that, that extra area at the back for Shark,
Yeah.
he can
It's a
just
good
plant a
TC
TC
spot
over
right there.
there and forget about those
Yeah.
bills. They're never
And he doesn't
getting
need to do anything.
harassed. Exactly.
He can easily wall off and
Okay, so Shark seems to have found cyanide, and on the other side, okay, the gold locations are being pinged.
Pretty small gap also between Shark and Cyanide from the wood line.
Yeah,
Maybe 11 tiles or so.
exactly.
So there's like, it's good for like later aggression. Only build a tower to attack Cyanide.
And yeah, apart from that, it's a pretty normal base. No
And
issues of any
the
sort.
question is who will go for feudal aggression first.
Yeah.
hopefully the Saracens guy will do that because he has this archers, right?
Okay, cyanide is building a barracks. Uh, will there be any sort of man at arms play here?
Probably Man at Arms only if it's at this 51 goes in.
I don't believe anybody else. Either of the flanks are going for man at arms. Is Sotala going for anything? Nope,
Nope.
nothing.
Okay, he's building a barracks actually.
Sotala? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. He just started building a barracks. So,
Okay, his sheep are very far away. There. Okay, somebody clicked up. I think
Yeah, it's
it's
three of them. So that's Cyanide,
Shark
Attila,
and
and Shark who've clicked up.
Attila
Nobody's.
Chingam as well.
Yeah, okay, Cyanide has his first militia in the barracks.
Yeah.
So this will end up being a man at arms play into archers possibly. Or it could be man at arms into fast castle. Let's see.
Gavin is going for FC and their plan, their pocket is Attila Chingam.
Pavan seems to be doing, yeah. So 25 plus 2, I guess. Fast castle.
Yeah.
Attila is on his way to build
Yeah.
soon. Earlier.
So yeah, that's not a FC. I think he is maybe going scouts.
It looks like the plan from them is to do an early push.
Okay,
Most probably from Saracen side, I guess, because
so
Saracen archer will break walls easily, right? So scouts can come in and basically kill everything.
Bomberman seems to have pulled in the second bow and has forgotten about the first bow that's rotting under his TC,
Oh,
which is about, yeah. So
It's
80 to
78
90
food left on it.
Yeah, 80 to 90
Yeah.
food was lost on that bow. Okay,
so
so Tala also seems to have made militias in his barracks. Yeah. And yeah, we have Cyanide moving out with his 3 militias. So, what sort of scouting has he done? Okay, I mean, scouting's pretty bad, but he has at least found the second gold. The man at arms are about to attack.
yeah, but
Meanwhile, Shark already has an archer in production. So let's see how effective this will end
I
up
think
being.
Cyanide should
And
have
MMA
sent a
should
villain.
lead to be there.
Sorry?
Cyanide should have sent a villain actually towered it because yeah, the archers will kill
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. I mean, let's see if he ends up breaking into Shark's base or not.
Yeah, but the archer is already out.
Yeah.
And he's starting to hit, and the wall is the gate is being repaired. So yeah, Cyanide will
Okay,
have to back
Cyanide
off.
already has 2
I think
ranges in his
notice
base.
that everybody's scouting has been pretty bad.
Yeah.
Nobody is really scouted properly where the enemy units are. Teams.
Okay, so Tala seems to have actually got inside Bomberman's base here. Let's see
Nice.
if he ends up causing
Bomberman
any
has walled
damage.
him. Walled again,
Yeah,
walled
yeah.
behind.
He seems to have
Quick
walled in,
walls.
but okay. So I think
Tala might not do much damage with
they
this.
both will end up following up with archers because Tala seems to have the same plan of 2 ranges. So, okay, he's housed right now, but he's got fletching on the way and 3 archers in production.
But the scouts are here from Attila Chingam. So yeah, that's going
Okay.
to help him.
Meanwhile,
He's
Bavin,
trying to break into the base.
Bavin has
yeah.
just clicked up to Castle Age
Okay, Bavin
at
is Berbers.
14 minutes. Yeah, so I think we can expect some knights in about 2.5-3 minutes.
Berber get
Berbers,
cheaper cavalry.
Sorry?
You can push out of 3 stables from Berbers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
cheaper cavalry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, Cyanide. Cyanide is also in Shark's base at this point with his
Yeah,
2
but there are a lot of
man-at-arms
archers.
and archers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not 3 archers.
yeah.
If he micros, he can actually save everything. But
Okay,
the
Sharks.
villagers are actually causing a lot of deaths.
He did a good job of like pulling Cyanide in basically. He had
Yeah.
a very small choke point to go
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
Okay, Cyanide has the archers as well, and plus,
Okay, so it seems Cyanide's push is dead at this point.
yeah,
What
Shark did
about,
a good job of walling.
yeah. And the fact that he kept his military alive. Meanwhile, Cyanide seems to be losing archers left, right, and center.
he's sending.
It's like Shark was using his will as like a meat shield
Yeah.
against archers.
It works if it doesn't die.
Yeah.
If it dies, then it's basically useless. You're wasting
Okay,
resources. Which you could have
Bomberman.
collected.
Then he has housed the will inside his base.
Bomberman seems to have made a militia, possibly a missed click. Let's see what he ends up doing. And yeah, we've got Bomberman going to Tala's base now. So So Tala
Tala
has
has a lot of archers
yeah,
actually,
so
so
Tala
you
has
can
a few
actually push
archers.
them back easily.
Actually, repair the gate and
Bavin
Yeah.
is already in castle, so I think he should be starting with his knights
Okay,
anytime.
the knights are coming in. He's producing two at a time. He's put down his second TC.
Yeah,
I think he's going for two
and
TC.
yeah, and Shark is moving towards Cyanide's base.
Babin already has both attack and his upgrades
Yeah.
of his knights.
Okay, and
Okay, so Cyanide has just fletching. Meanwhile, Shark has the armor upgrade as well. Which,
he's Vietnamese, so
yeah,
his
exactly.
archers are much more tankier than
This could be a pretty bad situation for Cyanide.
yeah.
Looking at
And
Dragon.
actually, Attila Chingam has clicked up, so he'll reach Castle Age sometime in near future.
Okay,
While
yeah.
everyone else
Since
is
Celts
still,
don't get,
everyone
they
still
don't get
is,
Arbalist also, so that's one problem for them.
yeah, but still
You
at
have to
least you
push
can,
early. Yeah, you have to push early there. That's the thing there. You have to be on
Yeah.
the aggressive shit in the beginning then, because you don't get Arbalist in it.
yeah.
Okay, so it
I mean,
seems.
Cyanide is collecting stone, so he might be thinking of castle dropping.
Yeah. Could be a possibility. If he. I think at this point it could be a defensive castle just to ensure that the army of Shark does not end up destroying him completely. Let's see.
One thing you see, the military numbers are pretty sim. Bala has now 20 archers out and Evan has now 6 knights.
Okay,
But
so Sir Tala
Shark's
and.
archers are about to hit Cyanide's archer, and Cyanide's archer are basically dying now.
Yeah.
He'll have to pull back.
Yeah.
Shark now is a military lead over Cyanide by 6.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Cyanide lost
there
a
is the
lot.
military advantage, there is the armor advantage, and the fact that the Vietnamese archers are just better.
Much more
Yeah,
HP.
HP for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. I mean, if we look at the other
Cyanide
side.
is trying to distract him from breaking in.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's waiting for the knights, I guess.
Yeah, Bavin
He's waiting for knights from Bavin.
Bavin has sent 2
Yeah.
knights.
Okay.
Let's see what they can
That's
manage
going to change a lot, but not much.
And Tala just has archers just outside Bomberman's base doing nothing right now. They're just
Okay, so
standing there.
Bavin's knights, he's sent 2 of them, but they seem to want to go somewhere else altogether.
Maybe a miscommunication.
Yeah.
Again, there seems to be miscommunication between Bavin and Tala as well.
Yeah,
Bavin is
definitely.
trying to
Yes.
break into the walls with Tala's
Yeah.
archers or
I
something
mean,
else.
the knights are supposed to be the meat shield, and they are just on their own at this point in both the cases.
And yeah, his archer might have got caught actually.
But they're like very separated, both the armies.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Attila Chingam's knights are just right there, right?
Attila is trying to get inside Cyanide's base, but Cyanide manages to make a gate and ensure the safety of his wills.
But
But
we need something to kill those scouts, right?
thanks for the follow, Kappa Gaming Studio.
You see in military numbers again, Mastaplan have 8 more military than FTN, but they aren't really using it as well.
There's a lot of miscommunication.
I think it's not just the military numbers. If you look at it, Cyanide's KD is pretty bad. He's lost 10 military and he has killed. He has killed 10 or 11 and he has lost about 30.
But he's still only 5 behind Shark in military numbers.
I think
Actually.
Cyanide is.
There's still time to come back.
No. Cyanide seems to have lost his entire army. He's
Yeah.
got 8 military. Most of his archers are dead.
Yeah,
Now they're gone.
Yeah. Shark meanwhile has started to move out.
Dạ vọng có thảo dân.
Okay, Shark reached castle, and basically everyone is about to be castle right now, except Sir
I think
Tala.
this
Tala
is
is
just.
the last one to castle.
This is just.
Shark's in castle, but he hasn't got any of his upgrades yet. None of the
Yeah.
crossbow
Okay,
or what
Tala's archers might die right
forget the
now
archers.
because
Bavin is
sent
just
all
pulling
his
away
knights
his
back,
knights.
and Tala's archers are exposed. They
Yeah.
might die.
So
They're just gonna die. There's no chance of them
those
surviving.
archers are
Yeah.
closed.
But miscommunication on both Masterplan right now.
Yeah, and now Bavin is sending his knights back to save those archers. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much damage is done pretty much.
Yeah.
And now you
thing
can
is,
see that FTN have more military numbers.
yeah. Not only do they have more military numbers, Shark is already in Castle Age and he has made a siege workshop. So I think we can start expecting the first mangoes pretty soon.
Yeah.
And
Meanwhile,
Tala is still in feudal. He still hasn't clicked up to castle.
yeah.
No, no, he's clicked up, but he's not yet there. He's
Yeah,
at 95%
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
He's
96.
about to reach Castle Age.
Yeah.
Okay,
is.
so Shark's
reached Castle
crossbows
Age right
against Cyanide, who's just got the upgrade. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think they are dead.
Yeah, Cyanide shouldn't have sent all his army ahead.
You should have added in your base, in his base.
Yeah, he should
Not
have maybe
moved out
sent
until he
up.
had knights.
Yeah, he should have sent in the pike to check how much numbers the other guy had.
Okay.
Yeah, shouldn't have moved without the
If you
Baron's
look
knights.
at so Tala's base, Bomberman is sending 28 archers and 10 knights from Attila.
And he's
Yeah, and
Baron's
Baron's
knights are just
next.
dead.
Okay, okay. Babin,
Yeah. Okay, now they both need to engage. Otherwise, it's
I
going
think
to
it's
be
it's just
bad
bad military placement.
right?
If you look,
Baron's knights are moving back instead of
this is a
engaging.
massacre.
Yeah, it's bad fight for
This
both.
is a complete massacre.
the unbuilt TC from Tala is like blocking his
Yeah.
archers
Yeah.
also. Yeah, that
No,
fight was a very, very bad
Oh
fight.
man.
Archers can take that, right? Stacking his arch for
Yeah,
archers is
yeah.
good for knights.
Now, so
yeah, you
Tala is
can't stack
actually having to
knights.
make a defensive castle just to make sure that he's not destroyed in the
Babin
next 5
is-
minutes or so.
I just keep
Yeah,
on
yeah.
moving his knights away from the fight. He should
Yeah.
be engaging here.
I mean,
I don't know why. I think Tala is making a castle, that's why.
Babin
Yeah,
has.
no, but at least helped delay, taken out some army and then had a castle there too.
Yeah, Babin actually has more knights, one less armor, but he actually has the numbers advantage here.
And now Cyanide is trying to build a castle and Shark is right there to try and deny it.
Yeah, and he has a mango as well there.
Oh,
So
okay.
if he
See what
sends the
happens.
mango forward, yeah, he
We
can
might have
basically
a
kill.
shot here.
I think at this point, if Attila sends some military to
Oh,
Shark's
split from
aid,
Cyanide there.
Yeah,
He has very
But
few
yeah.
archers.
yeah, they can't
Oh,
kill
will
that
they-
mango
will they
man.
take the
That castle
mango?
is denied.
Oh no.
Yeah, castle is going to be denied.
So that's a doubt castle from Cyanide.
He's not really doubt. We haven't even
And
reached
Shark.
50%.
Shark is now building a forward castle.
Oh,
And
It's-
Tala
yeah.
has an unbuilt TC just outside his base to
yeah.
his goal.
Tala is making janitors.
Both the flanks are being pressured right now.
Yeah.
Pretty
Okay,
hard.
Yeah.
So-
Okay,
And
so
the military numbers are like completely skewed now.
yeah. I
Mastaplan
think
have only
this is,
11 military.
this is pretty much the opposite of game 1 if you look at it. It's just a
Some pressure
massive
from
military
FTN.
advantage for FTN here. Mastaplan seems to be sort of up with the opposing team on the number of villagers.
But yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's just bad execution. Okay.
A lot of
And,
bad fights.
Yeah, Attila is inside Cyanide's base.
Yeah. And now Shark is building a castle outside Cyanide's base.
yeah,
Trying to
Yeah,
push
I
it.
mean this is GG for Cyanide, I think. Those gold wills are
unless he
about to
sends
die.
his all his meters
And Shark has
Baron's
still has
base.
sent in some knights inside Cyanide's base somehow. Two young knights
And-
inside Cyanide's base.
It's Babin's
now
base
they're
was
dead.
now getting raided. Babin's base is being raided as well now by Attila and Bomberman.
I think this is
GG pretty much. There's like
Yeah.
nothing.
easy.
there.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
And Sarsen Archers can just take down that TC.
Everything is dying.
Yeah.
There's enough
I
archers to
think
take down that TC. with
Tala
Sarsen.
basically built that defensive castle and bought himself some time. But then FTM just decided to go to the pockets base and finish them completely.
I was losing some archers to these janitors.
Oh, Cyanide is having to build a
Yeah.
defensive castle. But then
Yeah,
he
he
has
was-
no military to speak of.
Shark has the castle and TC right outside Cyanide's base.
Yeah.
Like, Mastaplan is just trying to rush a defensive castle to somehow hold.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's going to be the case.
Cyanide seems to be wanting to migrate outside his base.
Yeah.
Let's see. If,
Bomberman has, on the other flank, Bomberman has lost all his crossbow. There's like 4 of them left.
But he has some stationed right outside the Tala's base, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
He has 15 right there, so he can send them.
Like if he is, it'll be tougher for
But,
people
I
at this
mean,
level, but ideally Bomberman could have been pushing those archers also forward
Yeah.
as he was inside Babin's base.
the FTN guys at this
They are
point have such massive advantages, each of
Yeah.
them, that they can basically just camp outside the enemy bases, boom, get to MPL and just destroy the complete bases of Mastaplan.
that's what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
They're booming behind it
Okay,
now.
so
Attila has like banked up a lot of gold.
Bomberman is
Probably even
actually
gold in arena.
researching
Like 1,000
Imperial
gold.
right now. He is at 25% and he's getting ballistics. Okay, so Masterplan calls it.
And look at the
GG's.
Sharks monk healing those crossbows as well.
yeah. Okay, so
There's
well
a lot
played,
of action
FTN.
packed in the arena game.
Yeah.
A lot of failed castles,
Yeah.
bad engagements for master plan. FTN had very good coordination in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's right.
they just played together quite well, and I think Bavin as the pocket was not like completely effective. He had the numbers, he had the early castle time and everything, but yeah,
There was no engagement.
yeah, there was no
Good
engagement
There's
engagement.
basically.
no good engagement from master plan,
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
just lost their
Yeah, and
military.
Cyanide threw a bunch of his army into Shark's base.
Yeah, that
Which,
too.
yeah, I mean, at that point, early feudal or mid feudal age you're talking about, it's like 10 archers. You're losing 10 archers is quite a big thing, right?
Yeah, that's a
So,
lot
yeah.
of investment. 450 gold
So,
down.
Shark with the kick-ass KD 73 to 29. And same thing with Attila, 67 to 22.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Even the army numbers are basically even, right? So
Yeah.
Bomberman is
Yeah,
37,
yeah,
Shark is 30,
yeah.
Tala is 28,
But I believe in
Dragon is
quite a few
19.
cases, even if the military numbers were the same, the FTN guys just had the tech advantage, whether it was an armor upgrade or an attack upgrade or whatever, or
Yeah.
ballistics. Their military units were slightly better than Masterplan's units at any point in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But
Looking at the economy, so yeah, pretty
Shark and Cyanide had
self-explanatory.
similar castle times, but Shark had that armor advantage over him.
Yeah, yeah.
Was Cyanide.
And Cyanide's military was, I think, completely toast by that point. He had a few crossbows and a couple of spears, but nothing apart from that. So
yeah,
basically, when they hit their respective castle ages, Cyanide was actually left without much of his military, which meant that even if the upgrades came in, they weren't going to be that effective.
without the numbers, it's very hard.
Yeah.
But Bavin and Tala could have pushed if you see the timeline. Both of them had decent military at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, now. There was miscommunication,
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
guess.
think it was
because-
just bad engagements, which
Yeah, they took very bad engagements.
bad engagements, miscommunication, whatever you want to call it. But yeah.
Because that side, basically, they could have killed him.
Yeah, and if you look at the villager numbers, so Tala, for some reason, I think because of his unbuilt TC, could not mass up the villagers as quickly as the rest.
Oh,
He's still
Yeah.
on 50 on this, yeah.
I think he was the first one to be pushed off. Yes.
I think both the
Because he
flanks were
was
pushed off
doubled,
at the
right?
same time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, both the flanks were pushed off at the same time. They both tried
Yeah.
the man at arms into archers thing, and they both failed at it. So that
I mean,
sort of seemed.
Cyanide side, there was only one guy, right? So Cyanide had
Yeah,
a little less pressure than say
exactly,
Tala, because
exactly.
Tala had
Yeah,
two guys on him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
And
then
they took a lot
Attila
of bad
had.
engagements and lost all their army, so
Yeah.
they couldn't defend actually.
No, but Attila actually had some feudal army, right? FTN's pocket, Attila, he had a few scouts. Meanwhile, Bavin went directly into an FC with his knights. So,
Yeah, it was good decision, but I think execution was not as good as it could have been.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Plan
anyways.
was okay, I think. Plan was not bad. The execution was not good. Was
Yeah,
There's a
so.
lot of army mismatch. I mean, not mismatch. I say
Yeah.
what's the word?
I mean, it's just lack of practice or whatever, but they did not seem to have a plan beyond the man at arms into archers thing. Like, if it failed, what were they going to do?
Positioning. Yes,
Yeah.
positioning was bad. I'd say.
So, anyways, that concludes our coverage of today's games between FTN and Masterplan. Tune in tomorrow at the same time. We'll have Haven versus Ignitus for you guys. and after that we have Brothers Union and the Templars. I think that was the decider for Group 2. So whoever won those games, they would have a chance of getting into the semis. But in Group 1, since Psyduck had forfeited their entry into the tournament, so the decision was always going to be between FTN and Shatagni, and with their victory against Mastaplan, they end up getting into the semis. So yeah. Anyways, I
FTN.
guess yeah, this is the end of the stream. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Right.